Hi, this video on Xorganizer is dedicated to profiles. So what is a profile? Of course I will explain into more detail, but you could see a profile as a saved state of enabled and disabled items in any mix. And I'm talking about scenery, but also plugins and scripts. The Preferences module in Xorganizer is also based on profiles, but they work a bit different and I will discuss them in a separate video. You can find the profiles in the right bottom corner. In total there are 15 profiles. You can't delete a profile, you can only hide it. Let's say you only use 5 profiles, you just hide the rest of them. You can give a profile any name you want by double clicking on the profile and just give it any name you want. If you want to change the order of the profiles, let's say you want this one on top, you can use these two buttons to move them up and down. There is no need to save a profile. If you look in the scenery selection on the left side, you see it changes if I select another profile. If I go back to the test profile, select these 3, I switch to this one and then back to test, you see that these same 3 folders are still selected. As you can see, there's a default profile on top. The default profile reflects the state of the scenery according to the scenerypacks.ini file. If you want, you can only use the default profile. There's no need to use the other profiles. You could make any selection here, set the scenery module to on, let Xorganizer create a new ini file, and if you start Xorganizer the next time, the default profile will reflect the ini file, just what you saved the last time. But of course I didn't create this profile just for my own fun, so why would you use a profile? Let's say I fly online a lot. I've got a couple of airports here I want to select. I select the libraries, of course, and my ortho scenery. I'll give it a name so I can recognize it, and that's profile number 1. But I also want a profile for VFR flight. I'll select the smaller airports in Belgium and the Netherlands, and also some VFR landmarks. I want this scenery here, and of course the tiles, and don't forget to select the libraries as well. And this profile I will name VFR, and that's it. Now I can switch between online flying and VFR flight. If I want VFR, I select this profile, start explain using this button, or close Xorganizer and start explain myself. If you want to build a new profile, but it looks very much the same as one of your existing profiles, you could use copy profile to create a basis. If I select this one, I'll say use the VFR profile, and I'll select the profiles number 3 and I copy, and now those two are identical. If you look to the left, nothing changes there because the selections are the same. What happens to your profiles if you add new scenery? New scenery is disabled by default in all of your profiles. That is to prevent checking all your profiles and searching for airports you'll have to disable. If you want to update your profiles, you can use this button. It will show all airports you've added recently. and recent is defined in the settings. By default it's 1 day. Of course I want these airports to be part of my VFR profile, so I select the VFR profile, I'll turn them all on, and now they are part of this profile and not the other profiles, as you can see. If I switch this button off again, I go to this profile again, you see that these airports are now part of my VFR profile. The idea behind the profiles in the plugins and scripts module is basically the same, but maybe even more aimed at preventing conflicts between plugins. Let's say I want to fly online again. I'll select a new profile. I want these and I want this one. I won't be needing these, won't be needing Python, and fly with Lua only this script. I'll call this my file again, and I'll select another profile more aimed at VFR flight. I'll use the weather and these plugins, fly with Lua again, and I want these two. And I'll give it a name to recognize it. And now it works the same. If I want to fly online, I select this profile, start explain. It's the same from here, and you won't have any conflicts between these scripts and plugins. As you can see in this example, not much is installed, but I do have, like many others, several weather plugins, and if you want to use them side by side and select them in the scenario you want for your flight, you'll have to disable them, otherwise it won't work and explain. I hope this helped you to use profiles in Xorganizer. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.